Rodriguez. That's the birthdays I have for today. Sun will set this evening at 4:30. Record high for this date, 77 back in 1995. Record low, 11 in 1937. And don't forget, this evening at 6 o'clock at the First Baptist Church, every Tuesday night in the month of November, they're serving the community, those in need, a hot meal. And if you'd like to help, donate, or bring something, contact Shannon Belshey. There you go, tonight on Main Street at the First Baptist Church. And today, Kiwanis meeting at 12 o'clock, Jesse James will be speaking, give the meeting today. All right, it is 7:01 Mountain Time. See you tomorrow.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The comprehensive Trump-Gaza peace plan has taken a giant step forward with approval by the UN Security Council. The Trump blueprint covers the future security as well as the governance of Gaza. The House is set to take a vote today on a bill directing the Department of Justice to release all of the remaining Jeffrey Epstein files. President Trump is urging Republican lawmakers to vote yes on that bill. The White House red carpet will be rolled out today for Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Among other things, President Trump and his guests will talk about the potential sale of American F-35 fighter jets to the kingdom. Mr. Trump calls Saudi Arabia a great ally of the U.S. And the president not ruling out the possibility of talks with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. On Wall Street, Dow futures down 355. More details, srnnews.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Your home for Goodland High School athletics, the Denver Broncos, Tech Tiger basketball, and the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer and Connor Schuh. This is Goodland's Rocket 102.5 KKCI FM, Goodland, an NWKS radio station.
Convenience just got an upgrade. Farmers State Bank of Oakley is excited to announce the opening of our brand new ATM along Highway 40, right next to Sonic Drive-In. Whether you're grabbing a snack or on the go, you can quickly access your cash without the detour. It's banking made easy, right where you need it. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. A Wakini man was injured late Friday afternoon in a motorcycle accident on U.S. Highway 283, a couple miles north of I-70 in Trigo County. According to the Kansas Highway Patrol's crash log, the crash occurred at 4:15 p.m. last Friday, the 14th. The driver, 56-year-old Russell McBride, was traveling north on U-20 283 and slammed on his brakes, causing his 2007 Harley-Davidson to fall on its right side. It slid and pinned McBride's right leg under the side of the motorcycle. He sustained suspected serious injuries and was transported to Trigo County Lemke Memorial Hospital. The crash report stated that he wasn't wearing a helmet at the time of the crash and didn't have insurance listed for the motorcycle. No other vehicles were involved in the accident, and the bike was removed from the scene by 4B Towing. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Today will be sunny with above normal highs 60 to 65, light northwesterly winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, winds will turn to a southeast, increasing clouds, and fog is likely to develop with lows 35 to 40. Tomorrow, we'll have patchy morning fog. It'll be denser east of Highway 83, then becoming mostly sunny in the afternoon. Again, mild with highs 60 to 65. Winds will remain light at 5 to 15 miles per hour, varying from the northwest, turning to the east direction overnight with lows in the mid to upper 50s. Thursday and Friday, the storm system will move through with increasing clouds, rain chances developing Thursday evening and overnight and continuing Friday. Thursday's high will be in the upper 50s, falling into the upper 40s for Friday, and overnight lows will stay above freezing. Rain totals of a half inch or more are possible. Over the weekend, a weak ridge will return with some sunshine and dry weather. High temperatures warm into the mid 50s to low 60s. This meteorologist Chris Schromick at the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
When you gotta go, but there's nowhere to go, who you gonna call? Topside Portables and Pumping, that's who. Weddings, job sites, farm parties, they've got clean, reliable porta potties that don't stink, literally. And if your septic tank smells worse than last year's chili cook-off, they'll pump it out fast. No mess, no fuss. Family owned, Heartland values, always ready. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. When duty calls, they answer.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
This fall, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware has everything you could need. Keep your lawn strong with Ultimate Winterizer, the best defense before the frost. Warm up your evenings and create memories with a new fire pit. Or bring home the flavor with a great selection of grills and smokers from brands like Traeger, Blackstone, Green Egg, and more. And right now, the lumber prices are low, and so are the temperatures, making it the best season to tackle those outdoor projects. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
If you want to win in football, it all starts up front. Mass kicks ass.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
They're basically idiots.
Covering it all from the preps.
Up ahead to Blair Lennon. Lennon, the crossover, back to Cure. Hello, boom! A two-handed tomahawk flush.
To the pros.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Protection is good. Bolden loads it up. He's got it. A receiver there. Franklin makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the insurance agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Bateman driving, put it up, no good. Two-hand tip dunk for Blake Buchanan.
There's the shotgun snap. It's a four-man rush. He winds up and he throws a wobbling pass, backpedaling, touchdown reception. It's made by the backpedaling CeeDee Lamb in the back of the end zone.
Barnstable quickly doubled. He'll try to drive out of that and does. Lobs it into the front court and throws it away. 23 seconds to go, and here come the Cats. Here's Castillo to the rim. Layup is good.
Schultz to try and slow him down. Puts it up at half court. Banks it in for the win. Jalen Cox sends it back to Hamilton with a W from half court.
Tell you what, great job by that broadcaster. A half-court heave by Colgate to win it at the buzzer. Now, I understand it's only the month of November, but good on him for keeping his composure on a half-court heave. That was some impressive stuff. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. We're back here on the Morning Blitz on November the 18th. The cool down begins. Temperatures yesterday, we're getting into the low 60s. Today, we are only into the 50s, and cooler temperatures and even precipitation coming here on the upcoming weekend. And then I just saw this morning, minutes before we got on the air, saw temperatures after Thanksgiving going to become real wintry as we're going to see temperatures no higher than the 30s. It looks like a week after Thanksgiving. So
you ready for it?
When basketball season hits here, it'll actually feel like basketball weather because it's really felt weird here at this point in time. Am I ready for the cold? I mean, I guess I'm like, it should probably be happening. How about that kind of feel?
Yes.
It's definitely been odd. It's been an odd, not want to say super odd, but it's definitely been weird to be in playoff football season and not really have playoff football weather, if you get what I'm saying. Although it looks like this Friday for some playoff football here in the High Plains could be a little wet. It was last year. Last year, first weekend in November. I'll never forget it. It was one of the wettest. It was one of the wettest playoffs, and it was 30, 40 mile an hour winds and just raining. It's what off.
That's running the football weather.
Oh my gosh. It was funny to see all the pictures, of the teams that won holding their trophies, and their uniforms are just, completely soaked. They're just mudded up if they play on a grass field. It was interesting to see that. And I think we could possibly see that again here on Friday. There's a 85% chance of precipitation. Temperature is going to be a little bit cooler as well. But off we go on a Tuesday. How are you feeling going into today?
Good. A lot of good sports were viewed last night. Not Monday Night Football. That game was atrocious. But other than that, I mean, one of the things we're about to talk about, K-State men's basketball. That was insane.
Yeah, that was nuts. By the way, Monday Night Football last night, Dak Prescott, 4 touchdown passes. They roll over the Raiders 33-16. Would you say that's probably 2 of the more popular NFL franchises nationwide?
Definitely.
The Raiders and the Cowboys.
Just in terms of name value, I'd say, the Cowboys are probably 1 or 2. I feel like them, the Patriots or the Packers are probably the most recognizable, but the Raiders brand is up there.
Both top 5 at least. I think it probably goes like Cowboys, Packers. I don't want to say Packers definitely in the Midwest. Midwest Packer. I don't know how big the Packers are.
People know about the Cheeseheads.
Yeah, they've definitely gained a lot of traction the last few years because they've won. I don't think they were maybe even 10 years ago that popular.
You don't think so with Rodgers doing all that stuff?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. My apologies. Yes, I take that back. I was misspoken there. Yes, I don't know. My question is, I don't know. I would say they're number 2 behind the Cowboys, maybe, and then maybe it's 3. Raiders could be 2. There's a lot of people that love the Raiders across the country. Love the Raiders.
They have a diehard fan base, that's for sure.
So, yeah, and they're dying hard this year. Let me tell you, it's a rough year. Last night, Ashton Genty ran the ball 6 times for 7 yards.
I think he got tackled for a safety too.
It's not a good day.
I tuned into the game for a little bit, and I saw a stat that said he has the least yards before contact in the NFL. It's 1.4 per carry before he gets touched by a defender. It's crazy.
Take the ball. Boom.
Yeah,
that's hard. That's rough. Very, very rough. But last night, Cowboys rout the Raiders 33-16. I admit I didn't watch a lot of Monday Night Football because, like you said, it really wasn't that good of a game. I did watch some college basketball. I tried to follow along with the K-State game, which the Wildcats pulled it out in the end last night. 84-83 over Tulsa. I thought it might be a good game. I thought going into it, I thought it might be a good game because, Tulsa came in 3-0. They had some confidence. Kansas State had won all three of their games. I thought it might be a little bit of a tight game. It was really tight. And honestly, did you see the final sequence?
I did. I missed most of the game, but I saw that, and you would have thought Tulsa was going to win that by looking at the score with 20, 30 seconds left.
I think they were up 5, I think.
They were. It was 83-78, and then K-State just pulled something out of their hat, mostly thanks to PJ Haggerty and David Castillo. Those two just kind of, I don't even know. I don't know how they did it.
The last sequence is the thing that stands out to me. It's tied at, it's Tulsa. Tulsa is up. Are they up? Yeah, they're up 82-81, I think is what it was. They're up by 2. And anyway, it's like you said, I think around 20 seconds left. So if I'm not mistaken, once again, I might be wrong in that because that doesn't compute in my head correctly. I want to make sure I have this right. But I thought they were up by like 20 seconds or something like that. Oh my gosh, it's not going to.
I've got it up right now. If you need confirmation.
What was the score before Barnstable had the turnover for Tulsa?
So it was 83-82, and then Kamari McGriff got the steal.
But and how much time was left too is the question here on this.
It looks like that happened with about 20 seconds to go.
Let's see here. Yeah, 20. So 24 seconds left. So really what could have happened is Tulsa could have just held onto the ball and gotten fouled and shot in free throws. Am I wrong on that?
Well, I think they stole it off the out of bounds play. I'm pretty sure off the inbounds.
No, it wasn't off the inbounds. So
or was it part of the possession?
So what happened was that Tulsa got the ball in. They got the ball in. Tulsa got the ball. They ran a kind of little screen action. They handed off to Barnstable, come around the end, and Barnstable got sped up. And as he was trying to get the basketball up to pass it, he lost grip of it and it flew into the air. It was fluttering bird. Remember that? It was just a fluttering bird up in the air.
Now it's getting put together.
Yeah. So it was so they had it. And if the clock's correct, all they had to do was just sit on it. All they had to do was just kind of hold on to the ball because K-State was going to foul them at some point in time because they were going to have to go make free throws to extend their lead to 3 in case they would have to knock down a 3 to extend the game. But Barnstable, and that was this guy's name, takes the ball, gives off a screen, looks to pass it. As he tries to gather the ball to pass it, it just slips out of his hand. It flies into the air, 20 feet into the air. And then here comes Kansas State and the steal by Kamari McGriff. Then they get it up ahead to David Castillo, and Tulsa is retreating back, guarding the 3-point line, which leaves the lane wide open. So Castillo just goes right down the middle and lays it in. I mean, it couldn't have gotten any easier for K-State last night.
Not well prepared.
On that particular play is my point.
Those Golden Hurricanes, man, not prepared for the clutch situation.
It was a meltdown of epic proportions because in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, just hold on to the ball here, get across half court. And that's probably why he was sped up. He probably thought, well, if I don't get across half court, we're going to get a 10-second call. I got to get across, and he's speeding up. So I got to pass it ahead. And in the act of trying to pass it, in the motion of it, it's just, whee! There goes the ball. It is just flying all over. And then, like I said, Kamari McGriff with the easiest steal. And then the pass ahead to David Castillo, couple dribbles, finger roll into the center of the cup. It was unbelievable. That's how K-State gets the win, 84-83. In a game that Tulsa kept it close throughout. I mean, it was a very tight contest. There wasn't really, I think, a time in the game where it felt like either team was pulling away. But yeah, you mentioned it. 31 points for PJ Haggerty and 10 rebounds for him. I think he becomes the first K-State basketball player since the great Michael Beasley to have a 30-10 game.
I love Beasley, man.
K-State. Yeah, Haggerty got it done. 12 points off the bench from David Castillo, 13 from Kamari McGriff, 10 points for Bashir Jr., the 4 guys in double figures for Kansas State last night, who Didn't shoot the ball very good, just 5 of 24 from 3. And I don't know how great of a 3-point shooting team they're going to be besides Abdi Bashir. I don't know behind that how great they're going to be. I mean, he was 0 for 2 last night, didn't attempt a lot. He is more of a driver. I mean, once again,
in past years, he's shot better.
And maybe he will.
Last year.
Maybe he will. I don't know.
Hope so.
But they better hope so at this point in time. Yeah. Because if they don't, they need a little bit more shooting from him. And I don't know. Who knows what Tulsa will be? I mean, it was so funny to see. You know, it was with that, like you mentioned, that 30 seconds left to go in the game, and I was checking social media, and here's all the K-State people coming out like, "We're gonna lose."
Oh, also,
it's gonna be a terrible loss.
Quick note: I totally forgot about this. PJ Haggerty played for Tulsa 2 years ago.
Really? Oh,
yes.
That's right. He's been everywhere.
4 schools to this point.
I've been Tulsa, Memphis. I don't know where was it. Where was one between Tulsa and Memphis then?
TCU first, and then Tulsa, then Memphis. Now
Tulsa, Memphis. I've been everywhere. Yeah. So, but PJ Haggerty, I don't know. But I know it was my point was it was about the fans. Like, this is gonna be a terrible loss. We don't know. Tulsa could go and end up winning what are they in Conference USA? I think is where they're in. They could win Conference USA. We don't know if it's going to be a bad loss or not. You just think it's a bad loss in the moment because you're like, it's Tulsa. We should beat them when we're at home. Yes, but you don't know anything. We're 4 games into the season now. Anyway, I don't know. Interesting win last night for Kansas State, 84-83. Also last night, quickly, 94-66, Colorado routes Alabama State, 94-66. So the Buffaloes and Tad Boyle after a 4-0 start with some hoops there. So there's a little bit of that was what I watched last night was college basketball. And I watched a little bit of Monday Night Football. I saw the early score where the Raiders get the early lead. You know, they're up, I think 3-0 or was it 6-3? They were up. And then here comes the Dak Prescott show, and they ran through the rest of the Raiders defense like hot butter. So
there you go.
So there you go. Squeak out win for Kansas State. Let's continue on the program here in segment 1. Let's get to our picks recap. Going to recap the picks here on the show in just a bit. We'll have Brad Shaw, Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball coach, going to join us coming up here in about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll be talking Fort Hays Tech Northwest basketball. We'll talk some KU hoops a little bit later on as they play in the Champions Classic tonight. But we didn't get to this because we just run out of time on Mondays. It's too full of a show. But the picks recap from the weekend, the picks of the weekend recap. Connor, how did we come out this weekend? I have a gut feeling it wasn't all that bad.
You were on the average side. You were 6-7, and I was 4-9. Not my greatest showing at all. But
6-7. I thought it would be a winning record. I thought it'd be 7-6. Okay. Anyway, what do we got?
All right, we will start with K-State at Oklahoma State. I was adamant that Kansas State was going to cover this one, despite all the history at Oklahoma State.
About that one.
And they didn't. You had Oklahoma State covering, so you got that one. Oh, Chiefs Broncos. I had KC covering, even though in the back of my mind, I had a feeling the Broncos were going to pull out some magic, just like they did. And you had KC winning. Neither of those happened. Seahawks, Rams.
You thought the Broncos would pull one out, is what you thought?
I thought in the back of my mind, after I made that pick, I'm like, oh, the Broncos.
You make it sound like it was like a complete and massive upset that the Broncos beat the Chiefs.
That's a, you know what? That's a fair point. That's discrediting the Broncos here because they are a good football team, but it feels like the Chiefs have had a hex over them for the last 7 years, roughly.
Oh, as in a good hex on the Chiefs? You mean they've been able to get all the wins?
No.
Because to me, a hex is a negative thing.
Exactly. But the Chiefs have had a hex on the Broncos.
On the opponent.
Other way around.
I thought you were saying that the Chiefs were hexed. And I'm like, how does that work?
No. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, continue.
Seahawks, Rams. This is my first correct one. I had Seattle covering. They covered by half a point. They made it a 3-point game, I think. And you had Seattle winning. They did not. Lions, Eagles. I had the Eagles covering. They did. You had the Lions winning. They did not. They looked a little rough. Was not great for Dan Campbell and company. Bucks and Bills. We both had the Bucks covering. The Bills won by 2 scores. That was, they dominated, at least down the stretch. And
Josh Allen dominated 6 touchdowns.
He threw like 2 picks in the first quarter, and I thought the Bucks were going to run away with it, but Nope. Notre Dame at Pitt. I had Pitt winning. That did not happen. They got beat by 20-something, and you had Pitt covering.
Didn't happen.
No.
Nope.
Memphis at East Carolina. I had Memphis covering. East Carolina pulled out the win. You had the over, and the over was 58.5. If I'm not mistaken, they scored 58 combined.
Wow. God,
I'm
Vegas.
pretty sure.
Vegas is amazing. Gosh, Vegas is amazing.
As close as you could get. Iowa at USC. Man, I had Iowa winning, but they lost by 5. You had Iowa covering. They just got that cover.
Oof.
So you get that one. Texas, Georgia, the Dogs just annihilated them. We both had them covering. They did. New Mexico State at Tennessee, my favorite pick of the day. I had New Mexico State covering. They did. They only lost by 32 and covered the 39.5. And you had the over. They did not hit the over.
Dang it. Such a big spread.
Yes. Arizona men's hoops, our first basketball game at UCLA in California. I had UCLA winning with the home court advantage. They did not. You had Arizona winning. Them and their star freshman, Koa Pete, did just that. He is a dog. Number 3, UConn at BYU. This was just a pick 'em. I had BYU winning. Didn't happen at home.
The Huskies, man. Got it.
You did. The Huskies got the win. Number 3 team in the nation. Still moving up the polls. And then the Evanston-Chicago battle. Northwestern at DePaul. I had Northwestern covering. I don't know why I picked that. They did not cover. And you had Northwestern winning. They did. DePaul, I watched the majority of that game, and it was pretty good. It was within 10 pretty much the entire game, and I think Northwestern won by 2. So that's our picks.
You're probably one of the few people in all of Northwest Kansas that was watching DePaul Northwestern.
Hey, I'm a college basketball sicko. You know what I was watching last night in the late hours? I was watching Loyola Marymount at UC Santa Barbara. That was a great game. Went to overtime. It was good ball. Sometimes you got to find those diamonds in the rough.
Santa Barbara. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and who won?
That would be the Gauchos of, actually, no, it was LMU because Santa Barbara, they got technical free throws towards the end when they were down 3 and they missed both. And then they split the pair their next time to the line. They just totally shot the game away. It was bad.
A late game on ESPN Plus for you right there.
It was fun though.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I said after Kansas State and Colorado got done, I switched over. Didn't watch something else. Not gonna be that big. I like my college basketball, but I'm not that in love with it, I guess.
Hey, fair enough. That's totally fair. There wasn't much going on. I mean, you had the rough Monday Night Football and then college basketball.
No, I mean, I don't blame. I mean, that's fine with me. I don't get that sicko into college basketball until like probably closer to the tournament time where I'm watching
I get it.
The conference championships. Like I'll watch the Summit League from beginning to end. Give me the Summit.
Summit League's fun.
Yeah, give me the Summit League. Give me the Mountain West Conference. Give me some of that stuff. We'll check out that while we're waiting for it. So,
speaking of the Mountain West, Grand Canyon's stinking it up.
Really?
They're 2-2. I think they lost to a couple fellow mid majors. I forget who exactly, but there were games they were supposed to win.
Still early. Only a handful of games in. Still time to right the ship at this point in time. So. There you go. Our first segment here in picks. So what's the overall record now updated?
You're kind of separating right now. You're at 43 and 43 on the dot. I'm at 37 and 49.
Well, I guess if there's a bright spot, I guess we are, I guess I'm not losing money. I am just, I'm just not gaining much money either.
Yes. A bit of live production talk. I feel like we got to split this into seasons.
That's fine. We can do that if you want. We can change that up whenever you'd like. Get to the end of the football season or whatever, or what, the new year. Yeah, start the new year off with new picks.
I think New Year is a good time because at some point we'd be doing this until March and we'd be like 100 and 120 or something like that.
It'd be fascinating to know what that record, which I guess you can keep the old record and add them together. So
that is true.
That'd be fascinating.
Keep the
all right. Well, we'll take our first break here at the bottom of the hour. When we come back, Brad Shaw is going to join us in studio, join me in studio, and we will visit with him about Fort Haystack Northwest men's basketball off to a 4-1 start here early on in this 2025-26 season. That's next here on a Tuesday edition of the Morning Blitz.
Your business was built right here, so was ours. At FNB Bank, we are not run from some distant city. We are run by neighbors, for neighbors. We know what matters to you because it matters to us too. From local decisions to face-to-face service, we are here. Bank local, grow local, stay local. FNB Bank, member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Tom Slaughter with the Anderson Trade Group with your overnight market report on November the 18th. In the overnight session, beach corn was up 2 at 436 3/4. March corn was up 1 3/4 at 449 3/4. May was up 1 1/2 at 457. January soybeans were unchanged at 1157. March soybeans down 1 1/2 at 1161, and May down 2 at 1167 1/2. Kansas City hard red winter wheat December was up 1 at 529 3/4. March KC wheat up 1 at 546, and May KC wheat up 1 at 557. The Dow Jones is currently down 353 points at 46,313. S&P is down 30 points at 6,661. NASDAQ is down 146 points at 24,735. Gold is slightly down at 4,070 an ounce, and crude oil is slightly up at $59.98 a barrel. If you're out in the Colorado area and have any grain to market or risk management questions, please call John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4484. Or you can call the Overland Park office, myself, Tom Saluto, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000. Thank you.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing. Because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at CISA.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
35 pounds of nitrogen and phosphorus, $50 an acre. Source and blueprint by Sound Agriculture. Half the cost, same yield potential. Growers are saving $25,000 on every 1,000 acres of corn. With Sound's ROI guarantee, you can't lose. In today's markets, every input dollar matters. Don't just spend more, make your seed, chemical, and fertilizer dollars go further. Smoky Valley Ag delivers seed, chemical, agronomy, and same-day or next-day delivery. Call 785-645-8010. Smoky Valley Ag, your reliable source for growth.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
All the sports you love, all in one place.
Ooh, this will come in handy.
This is the Morning Blitz.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity. You know the roof on
Continuing on a Tuesday show here on this November the 18th, we'll get into more college hoops as Kansas plays a big game tonight against Duke. We'll get to that coming up in our third and final segment here on a Tuesday program. Well, we're going to continue to talk some college hoops, but at the JUCO level as we welcome in studio here in Goodland, Brad Shaw, head coach of the Fort Haystack Northwest men. Good morning, Coach. How are we doing today?
Good morning. We are doing great.
Feeling gotta be feeling good, I would say, after the start to this season, a 4-1 start overall. And I guess I want to start off with this question. I mean, knowing what you brought back, went out and recruited and brought in for this season, and considering the schedule that you had to start the year, how much of a surprise, if at all, is this 4-1 start for you and the guys?
I think we actually expected to win, which was really nice, and we got a taste of that in the Jamborees in October. So it's kind of carried over, and it's been really great to see the growth of this group, and we just got to keep it going.
What's been the biggest thing that maybe has surprised you about this group to this point in time?
Well, our depth is really evident, and that it's been a different leading scorer every night, so that's really great. And then defensively, we're definitely improved from a year ago.
Coach, you talk about how deep your team is this year. Who are a few guys that you just really want to shout out that have really maybe exceeded expectations in these 5 games?
Yeah, the first name that jumps out is Marquintez Dixon. He was here a year ago. He just jumps out of the gym, but he's really added on to his game. He's finishing more. He's making more jumpers, and he's just a man on the glass and blocking shots left and right, which has been really great. And then big fella Matija Odasevich, our starting center. He brings great intangibles. He just has a wonderful feel for the game. And then Khalil Kelly's running point guard. He just always seems to make a big play every single night. And we just have had a few guys that keep getting better and better as well. And it's been a lot of fun.
Brad Shaw once again joining us here in studio, Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball coach. I think I visited you back during the summer months, about kind of the off season and things like that. How did everything go? Getting guys onto campus, getting everybody settled in, because it can be an adaptation period, and then getting guys into the flow of practice and then classics and things like that before the season began. What was all that process like?
Yeah, the longest time of the year is definitely the fall, because the guys just want to compete against somebody else. They get a little sick of each other, and that's expected here. And so a lot of competition left and right, and they're just ready to play against different opponents. And that was a lot of fun in the months of October. So everybody's here. We're getting after it and get those grades up.
When you look at this basketball team and this 4-1 start, like you said, you guys are kind of expected to win, knowing that you're going up next year. I think Wednesday you're on the road at Pratt to open up conference play, and being through the conference now as a head coach last year for the first time. How do you feel like your team is built better to compete, even though last year was a very successful season?
Yeah, it helps to have some familiarity, knowing what we're going to go up against a little bit. Last year was kind of a shot in the dark. Wasn't sure really what we were going to go up against. But yeah, the reason I scheduled how I scheduled is really to get us ready for this game Wednesday. All these road games open up league play on the road. So we just got to bring our road warrior mentality and take it to Pratt.
You talked about the scheduling, and as a head coach, you're kind of in charge of a lot of this stuff. It's not like you have people behind the scenes that are doing these things for you. Can you go into the process of making a non-conference schedule from a head coach's perspective?
Yeah, so here in the Jayhawk, we only have 6 non-conference games, 30 total, 24 league games. So compared across the country, there's so many regions jealous of us because we do not have to spend
find
so
a
much.
lot of
It's a game changer, right? And then so really it's just trying to find some teams that are pretty close by. That's what helps. And then having some connections, right? My old roommate is the assistant at New Mexico Junior College, so that's why we started the year there. But really we have some return games. Northeastern came here last year, so we went there, and then McCook's just right up the road, and North Platte. So hopefully we'll get all these teams to maybe come to Goodland next year.
Yeah. How big is it to schedule games that don't require sitting on a bus for ample amount of time, or does that really not matter that much?
We're ready to just get out of town and play. Honestly, it doesn't matter where. And we have kind of been hit with a wave this fall with some bus travel a little bit. So it kind of got us ready and in mid-season form, you could call it, with these jamborees. So having lesser drives really just makes life easy.
Once again, Brad Shaw is our guest, joining us in studio here, talking about the Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball team is off to a 4-1 start. What's been the most impressive win in your mind through these first 4 victories?
Ooh, great question. Every win's been really nice to have. I think the way we battled back at North Platte, that was a really exciting one, honestly, because we were trailing for the majority of that game, and we really made a push at the end. But every game's kind of been the same, the last 2 of us hanging on, right? We have either turned it or missed free throws, all on us, right? And so now it's time to clean those up, and it's always great to clean it up with a win. But yeah, McCook, we just needed to make a few free throws, and we made it a little hard on ourselves.
Out of all the things your team has done right in these 4 wins, what has impressed you most?
Yeah, so we get to the foul line. That was one of the stats. I always look at the Jayhawks stats, and we're, I think, second in free throws made. So that part is really nice, and think of all the free throws we've missed. So that's one stat that definitely pops out that I'm really happy about, and we're just rebounding it better, and we're defending better. So those are keeping us right there.
I don't know what game it was. It was one of the games that you guys were in. There were 80-some free throws shot combined in a basketball game. And I got to ask, and you're this is not your first coaching gig. You've been other places. I mean, is that just a Jayhawk, this kind of Aries thing? Is that a JUCO thing? What is up with all the free throws being shot throughout 80 free throws throughout the course of a basketball game? I mean, from a fan's perspective, you're like, oh my Lord. I don't know, from a coach, maybe you're happy about that, but what are your thoughts on that?
You forget about all the free throws sometimes in the games. We were woken up to exactly that. When we went to New Mexico and we watched the first game between New Mexico and Brookhaven, it was the slowest first half I've ever seen. It was just nonstop whistles and foul shots, and I'm like, ooh, wow, yeah, we got to be ready for this pace of play sometimes. So yeah, it's not ideal.
When we were coaching up north, was that the way it was too?
It was. I mean, sometimes they let you play a little bit, but sometimes that, all right, if we're going to call this, it's going to be that way all night long. And you kind of get that feel early in the game. So, yeah, you never know.
But isn't it also kind of the style of basketball too? Guys wanting to get downhill a lot and get to the bucket and looking to get fouled. I mean, that's the other thing too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys are really good at selling calls. And then a lot of guys, especially the JUCO level, they do want to just constantly block shots. So there's always that follow through that's hitting guys. And so they're always hitting people. Absolutely.
You went down to New Mexico just to kick off the season. You had a long bus trip and you split 2 games there. And when you look at those two contests and how it all came out, how proud were you or maybe even disappointed at those outcomes?
Yeah, we were right there against New Mexico. New Mexico's now ranked 23rd in the country. We were surprised.
That's a perennial, usually top 25 program.
We were surprised they weren't ranked out the get-go, honestly. They're a loaded team for sure, and we were tough. We hung tough. We were really defending our tails off, which was great to see. And then I think we just ran out of gas the last 5 minutes of the ball game. And honestly, though, that was a really good test for us because they pressured us. They really pressured us on defense, and so it made us better. That's why we do those games. It made us better for sure.
Brad Shaw, our guest here on the Morning Blitz, 42nd Northwest men's basketball coach. Comparison to last year, what's the one thing about this team that is different in comparison to last year's that could be good or bad?
Yeah, I think last year everybody knew we had Chase Harris. And this year it's kind of a balanced effort. A little bit here and there, a little bit from a lot of guys. That's one of the biggest differences. And then we do play better defense. I think we're way more athletic on the defensive end. And we have a depth problem, right? We have a lot of guys that are hungry and capable of playing, and they just have to keep grinding it out in practice, and then they'll get their shot.
Sometimes it can be hard to recruit a roster with a good amount of depth. That's one thing you have not had a lot of issues with. You've been able to get a lot of guys onto campus. What's kind of been your secret about fulfilling a big roster? And then, when guys get here, we're like, well, you have this big roster, and there's only 5 spots on the floor.
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? Look, I kind of rely on the phone piece. A lot of people that I trust will say great things about certain guys and that I need to have them. And so we bring them here, and now it's kind of up to them to go take those spots. And what I love about JUCO is everyone evolves at different times. So there's guys that come out swinging, and then there's guys that are struggling, but they have to stick with it, and then they'll turn it up eventually.
You mentioned Quintez Dixon and how well he has developed his game. How has he developed his game at this point in time? What's been the biggest thing that has improved him? You said kind of an all-around deal, but what's been the couple things that stand out the most?
Yeah, his hunger. I just recall even in the offseason, he just could not wait to get back here, and that was a pleasant sign of things to come. But just that he's a terrific athlete, right? And he's one of the best athletes on the floor, if not the best, every time he steps out there. And he's really been tough at finishing, and he's stepping up when the team needs it. And then he's a great anchor defensively. That just it's hard to score over him. It really is. And he'll fly out to the perimeter. He'll protect the basket, and it's tough to score on him.
Because he's what, 6'1"?
Dixon's 6'7".
6'7".
He's our
He's
four-man.
got super long arms.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, he's been off to a really good start, and he just has to keep it going and use his teammates as well.
Brad Shaw continue to be our guest here in studio. I don't know how much preparation you can do for the conference slate, but you have, like you said, 2/3 of your season, over that 3/4 of your season is Jayhawk conference games. How much preparation goes into scouting the Jayhawk conference or getting to know your opponents before even you get to those first games? And how prepared are you for Pratt coming up here tomorrow?
Yeah, anytime I'm in the office, I have a Jayhawk game on somehow, some way, some type of game is on for sure. Just seeing what's happening across the league, and then Pratt. So going up against Hunter Vaughn, right? He's at the top of the scout. I call him the Steve Nash of the Jayhawk.
He's a dude.
So he really runs the show over there, and he's gonna be ready to play, especially in their gym for the conference home opener for them.
I look at your guys' roster and some other rosters in the Jayhawk conference, and you see a lot of international guys, and I feel like you've seen an influx of that a lot more in recent years of college basketball. How important is it to recruit across the pond?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And you don't realize sometimes how many guys are interested in coming over to the States. That's very evident. And then we look really hard at transfers. So there's a lot of international transfers as well, and guys just looking for a place to play. And so, internationals are a huge piece, although that will sort of cut down for next year, league-wide. They're going to try to cut that down, more Kansas guys for the Jayhawk Conference to sign. But international pieces are huge for everybody.
Can you go more into that rule on how they're going to change that?
Yeah. So for next year, you have to have a minimum of 25% of your signed kids from Kansas, your LOIs. So 25% of your LOIs for next year, minimum, have to be from Kansas. So they're trying to cut back on the international out-of-state piece for future years to come. So that's going to be for everybody, though. It's not just us. So
no, it's everybody.
Yep.
Not to put you on the spot, how do you feel about this new rule?
Yeah, I think whatever it is to keep the playing field even, I'm okay with. So that just means get some more Kansas guys, and off we go.
So 25%, I mean, you could have as many as 20 guys, but you got to have 5 of those guys be Kansas kids, correct?
Yep. So 15, you get 15 LOIs. So 25% of that, which equates to a little over 3. It's like 3 to 4. So that's kind of the target goal of guys you have to 100% lock in and sign.
I mean, and they have to be Kansas, correct?
Yes.
I mean, that's going to get really competitive for some kids, because no offense to Kansas, it's not like they've got kids growing up everywhere, around the state that they can play at the level. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
How are you prepping for that in your recruiting approach already?
Yeah, my approach actually is to step up and do a little officiating. Get around the area a little bit and try to find some hidden gems. I think that's a great way to get out there and do that.
You're going to officiate? What are you going to officiate this year? Anything that they'll let you do?
Yeah, I'm ready to run, ready to do it and improve my basketball brain a little bit.
That'll be a view from the different side of things, won't it?
I like that. Yeah, I've actually done a younger game already, and you just kind of have more appreciation for the refs, understanding like, wow, yeah, even I missed that. So can only imagine what they're going through in the college game.
Oh gosh.
So now as a coach, are you giving them a little more levity? You're not yelling at the refs as much now?
Well, when I see familiar refs that I've already had, I can give them a hard time because I know that they will take it. But if it's somebody brand new, I'm not going to introduce myself as a really tough one. So that's how I'll approach it for sure.
He is Brad Shaw, 40 Tech Northwest men's basketball. Did you watch our beloved Huskers in that win against Oklahoma? Did you have to go back and watch that a little bit?
Oh, at the Pentagon, I saw the highlights. Yeah, very cool. They took over that place. Yeah, it's a sweet venue too. I've been there before, so I'm glad to see they filled it all red.
One of the great stories about Brad Shaw is he was a student manager, graduate assistant for Tim Miles at Nebraska.
And Doc.
Yes. Great stories.
Yes.
You'll have to ask Coach about his stories about Tim Miles, the post-game shenanigans. Great times.
Great times indeed. Go Big Red.
Coach, thank you so much for stopping in. But safe travels to Pratt and good luck on the start of this season, all right? Or start of the conference season.
Thank you. Looking forward to having you at the home games.
Sounds great. Once again, Brad Shaw, is the head coach for the 40 Tech Northwest men. 4-1 to begin the year. They have currently won 3 in a row, wins over North Platte, Northeastern, and McCook. And like I mentioned, heading to Pratt here tomorrow to open up the season. They'll be at home on Tuesday, November 25th for their home conference opener, taking on Garden City. We'll take a break, come back, talk a little Kansas basketball to wrap up a Tuesday show here next on the Morning Blitz.
At Next Tech Wireless, get the iPhone 17 on us. iPhone 17 comes in 4 gorgeous colors with a brighter 6.3-inch display and a ceramic 2 shield front that's 3 times more scratch resistant. Capture super high resolution shots by default with the advanced 48MP dual fusion camera system and have flexible ways to frame your shot with dual capture video for simultaneous front and rear recording. Next Tech Wireless, connecting Kansas.
Let us take care of the basics so that you can have more money in your pocket for the holidays. Livewell Northwest Kansas Family Resource Distribution of Concrete Goods takes place the second Wednesday of each month. Text the word family to 785-460-0790 for more information.
Pizza, pasta, calzones, sandwiches, salads, appetizers, and desserts. Find that all and more. And Gambino's Pizza on 4th Street in Colby. Get fantabulous coupons now at Gambino'sPizza.com. Gambino's Pizza, Colby, Kansas.
A storm's rolling in, and Farmer Dale's bargain barn is wobbling like Jell-O at a rodeo.
I knew I shouldn't have gone with Discount Dave.
But wait, what's that in the sky?
Never fear, Supervan the Morton Man is here. Your trusses are toast, your steel is sad, but I've got 26-gauge strength and laminated justice.
Another building saved. Another farmer, regret-free.
Don't just build like a hero with Supervan the Morton Man.
That thump your dryer's making? It's not keeping the beat, it's crying for help. Goodland Furniture and Sleep Center now offers appliance repair serving homes all across Northwest Kansas. Here's the best part. You don't have to buy it from them to have them fix it. Washers, dryers, fridges, stoves. If it's on the fritz, they're on their way. They know it's been hard to find repair help around here in the tri-state area, so they're stepping up. Give them a call today and schedule an appointment. Goodland Furniture and Sleep Center, where your appliances get a second chance to behave.
We know you have very busy holiday plans. Let Flying O take care of your pets. With cozy boarding, quality supplies, and grooming, your furry friends will be spoiled this holiday season. Flying O, giving your pets their own holiday getaway and wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
It's the Morning Blitz.
We're having a great time, couple of laughs, everything's nice.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 8 Mountain, 8 to 9 Central.
Putting a bow on a Tuesday show. November the 18th. Once again, going to be a cooler day today. Temperatures only get into the upper 50s after being in the 60s yesterday and some stuff there. Larry chiming in EpiBank text line said he watched the Tech Tiger McCook game. Big win Friday for the Tech. Really competitive game. Larry, by the way, an ultimate sports fan and basketball nut. Also an avid collector of sports memorabilia, which we got to go. He's invited us to go check it out sometime here in Goodland. So we'll have to go see his wonderful collection of sporting goods. But he's got a lot of Kansas stuff. I know he's got some good Kansas stuff. And speaking of Kansas, that's called a transition. Kansas men's basketball tonight playing the late game of the State Farm's Champions Classic up in New York City. Is this is this at what? It's at the Garden. That's right. It's at the Garden. I didn't know if it was going to be at the Barclays Center or not, but no, it's at MSG. And Kansas, the 24th ranked team in the most recent rankings, taking on the 5th ranked Duke Blue Devils. Have you seen some of the point totals that Duke has been putting up here this season? Now, I mean, Indiana State is, to an extent, has been a respectable program, but they put 100 there. They put 114 on Army, which, by the way, did you see that scene at Army? That was awesome.
I actually did not.
More of that.
Was it?
Oh, so anyway, it was for Veterans Day. So for Veterans Day, Duke went to and played at Army, in Army's gym. And, of course, the connection there is Coach K. He coached at both spots and as a graduate there.
Right.
And anyway, they had the gym was full, and, it's a Cracker Box gym. So, it's a real small gym. And it was packed full. I mean, it was just a great atmosphere. I'm all for Cracker Box gyms.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm all for Cracker Box gyms in big games. I think it's great.
That's why where Duke plays is, I don't know why the name is just
Cameron Indoor.
Yeah, that's why that works, because it's smaller.
But it was just so cool for Duke to say, yeah, we'll go to Army and play at West Point and do that. That was neat to see. But they've rattled. I mean, they have put up points this year. After beating Texas by 15, they haven't had a competitive game all season long. And that relates to the spread in tonight's game. What do you think the spread is? Have you looked at it already?
I saw it yesterday. I think it was like 7.5.
It has grown to 10.5.
Because no
opened at 7.5. It is up to 10.5 for Duke at this point in time. And the other big thing is, it sounds like as if Darren Peterson will not be playing in it. At this point in time.
And that's why that spread is what it is.
It's absolutely humongous.
Yeah.
Not have him on that. I mean, just huge. By the way, you're going to get introduced. I haven't seen him play yet a lot, but you're going to introduce at least Kansas fans to Cameron Boozer, who's averaging 22.5 points per game for the Dukies. Also 4 assists. He leads them in pretty much every statistical category. But yeah, Cameron Boozer. That's right. That would be Carlos Boozer, the great Carlos Boozer, one of his twin sons. So,
and the other one's on the team too.
Yeah. What's his name?
It's Caden
Boozer. But he's, I don't know. Does he play a lot?
He gets minutes, but I think he comes off the bench.
Yeah.
He's a guard.
Well, anyway, tonight, Kansas, and I here's the thing. I think Kansas is going to be outgunned in this game, especially if Darren Peterson doesn't play. So I'm not feeling really good about, I would say I'd feel better about Duke covering at this point in time than I do about Kansas covering. Now, granted, Kansas does have Bill Self, and the interesting stat about this series is Duke leads the all-time series 8-7, but Kansas has won 5 of the last 6 and 5 straight in the Champions Classic against Duke. So Kansas has found a way to get it done against Duke.
It's true, but I think I've got Duke all the way in this one at MSG. Their fan base is a little closer, is going to be able to travel a little easier to that game, and they're playing a Kansas team without Darren Peterson, so they're going to need Cole Rosario, especially guys like him, to step up a ton, and he's played well, but
yes,
you're going to need him to fill the shoes of Darren Peterson in this game to a T if they want to win, at least in my opinion. So it's going to be tough. I don't think they're going to get blown out or anything, but I think Kansas has a grip, or not Kansas. I think Duke has a grip on this one.
I think KU is going to have to play their most elite defensive game of the season. They're going to have to be elite defensively and rebounding and limiting second chance points for Duke. And then I think KU is going to have to get out and run. I don't think they want to play in the half court without Peterson.
Yeah.
I don't think they want. If they want to play in the full court, get out and run, transition. That's what I just think that's what's going to be happening. So Anyway, tonight you can listen to that game on Flyover Country 97.9 with tip-off at 7 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Central Time. And then you can watch it on ESPN is what you can watch tonight. And then what's the game? Kentucky, Michigan State prior? Yeah, I think that's the early.
I think so, yeah.
It's an invitational of only 4 teams every year, and it's the same. They just kind of change opponents from time to time.
Almost Feast Week.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Is Feast Week the one where they do 24 hours of basketball? No, that's not it.
No, that was the opening day, what they used to do.
Okay.
Feast Week is there's a bunch of tournaments with just plenty of high major, good mid-major teams just kind of all crammed together in these tournaments across the nation.
Who's in the Maui this year?
It's I don't know.
We'll have to look that up for another show. I feel like the Maui's kind of lost some sizzle.
Yeah,
like Maui has lost some sizzle. I don't feel like the teams that are at the Maui are that awesome.
A lot of the better teams have been kind of spread out amongst the tournaments a little bit more, which I think is fun because it gives the slightly lesser teams a chance to kind of show their stuff and maybe pull together some upsets. But
yeah, we'll have to see. Who knows? All right, we're on to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Big news yesterday in college football. James Franklin has a new head coaching gig. He will be head coach for a team that I've always loved to follow, but they've not been very good in recent years. The Hokies of Virginia Tech. How do you think this is going to end up for James Franklin and for Virginia Tech, this marriage?
They'll be okay. I mean, I think players like him, so he'll have some recruiting pull, I think, but I don't know how high that ceiling's going to be with him, and Virginia Tech still has money, so I think they're at least going to be okay. Well, it'll be a little touch and go, give him a couple seasons to maybe build up that, I guess, the recruiting clout over in Blacksburg, but I think it's going to go fine. I don't know if they'll be quite as good as the peaks he reached with Penn State, but I don't mind it.
I think it's going to be a great hire because I think if he can get them to the level that they kind of were at Penn State or close to it, they're going to be winning a lot of ACC games.
Oh, yeah.
Winning a lot of ACC games and making the playoff.
Yeah, probably some championships in there.
And Virginia Tech said they're going to take the money and they're going to invest in the program, so they're going to do that. They've reassured him. That's what helped hooked him there because he needs that money to go get players. I know. I expect Virginia Tech to be a real player here in the coming years for James Franklin. I mean, everywhere he's gone, he has won. Let's face it. Everywhere he's gone, he has won. And I think the biggest story about this was the buyout that was renegotiated. Did you see that? He had a $49 million buyout at Penn State, and they renegotiated it down to $9 million.
Wow, that's
so Virginia
huge
Tech.
for
I mean,
Penn
it's
State.
huge for Penn State. They have all that money now to go get another coach and another staff. I mean, they saved $40 million on the buyout.
That's nuts.
And maybe that's why a lot of teams are doing these massive buyouts because, hey, we'll get it renegotiated. They're going to go somewhere else and coach. At least you hope that. I don't think LSU is going to get that lucky. But we'll see.
That's what happens when you have a guy like Brian Kelly.
I guess. Stick it to the man.
Yeah.
That'll do it for us. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. See you tomorrow on a Wednesday. It's been the Blitz.
Classic rock plays here. This